And we are back. It's your girl, absolutely, Adia.
Ashley Nicole.
The franchise.
Petrie.
And we are sitting with the lovely Idaysia Jackson. Hey, girl, how you feeling?
Hey, baby, I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm glad to have you in the building.
Yes.
Speaking about yourself, you have a documentary, This Is My Life.
Yes, ma'am.
We know you are a native of Flint, Michigan. Just tell us a little bit about that. Walk us more into your documentary and, what inspired you to go ahead and step out on faith and make that happen?
It's just covering, growing up, a lot of people, they thought I had it made in life, just because my mother, she went off to Iraq, and I stayed with my aunt, and my aunt was the type of woman to, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Like, everything was private with her, so I endured a lot within that privacy that, a lot of people don't know, a lot of people that's even close to me, things that happened to me while my mother was in Iraq that she didn't know until she came back, and like I said, a lot of people, Idaysia, you just have it so made, like, child.
If you only knew,
If you only knew, so Thanksgiving I was in Michigan, and my last day there, I just jumped up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a documentary. Like something just came over me. Like I need to tell my story. Like I'm tired of it being a hush, like it could help somebody, like,
of course.
And that's where it's going to help somebody. I know it is.
And my favorite part in your documentary is that you say you want to come back and buy the neighborhood that you were from.
Yeah,
I
was just about to touch on that.
Yeah, what made you really want to do that? Like, what?
I grew up in Westwood, Westwood Manor Apartments. They ended up getting burnt down, and I mean that was my childhood. That was everything to my family, like, and just we made it out of there coming to Texas, but it's like every time I go home and I see that, and all I could do is just shake my head, cry, and just be like, God, please bless me one day with this property, which I know that He is, So Westwood Manor is gonna be mine.
It's gonna be
mine.
I really hope you achieve that. Seriously.
Thank you.
So where are you in the process of your documentary? Is it done?
No. I actually changed it up. I'm only going to shoot part 1. And part 1 is going to be just basically from, the time that I was born to where I'm at now in life. And part 2 will take place, once my brand is officially off the ground. I'm at a place in life to where I'm kind of comfortable. I never want to get too comfortable in life,
right.
But where I'm kind of comfortable, husband, kids, and go back and tell my story on, from part 1 to part 2, so part 1 should be done soon. It should be done soon.
Awesome. And you guys, you can go ahead and follow her on her YouTube channel too. She does have a trailer, Idaysia Jackson. If you didn't hear the spelling of that the first time around, that is Adaysia Jackson, of course. I want to touch a little bit on you said that, growing up, they thought that you had it made.
Mm-hmm.
With that, did you feel not necessarily sheltered, but shunned away from from reaching out to people that were outside of your home? Was there ever a moment that you wanted just to break and say, hey, other than starting the documentary, tell us a little bit about those times where you had to fight that urge to just let it out?
After my mom moved here to Texas, because I didn't move to Texas until a month later after she already came. But, just being away from her again, like, by her going, getting sent off to Iraq. And then the second time her coming to Texas, it was just like, oh my God, you can't leave me again, and it wasn't that, she was leaving me, for a very long time. She was just coming down here to get everything straight before, because I was still in school, high school. And I was just like, no, like I can't. Hurry up. I'm on my way. Like
separation is enough.
Because like I said, and the things that she found out that happened in my household while she was away, it broke her down, to hear, the things that took place. And, it was just a very tough time for me. Like, should I speak out? Or if I speak out, what's going to happen?
Right.
My mother is not here. She's in Iraq. Like, and, I don't know. I will pray that, the person that I was living with wouldn't do no harm to me,
Yeah.
And it was just like, one day I'm going to be able to tell my story. Like, God just allow me to make it through this, and he let me make it through it, and now it's going to be told,
Exactly. You are definitely being molded. You have a beautiful spirit.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. We talk every day, every other
yes.
day. So
Yes.
this definitely goes outside of the studio, and that just makes it even better. When we even came up with this, this episode, you were the first one that came to mind, and I shared this with
Wow.
Dia too. And not even knowing you, we've only been knowing each other a couple months, and it just feels like we've been knowing each other forever. And it's beautiful to be able to look up to someone of your age. She's younger than me, guys, and she is a total
You're
inspiration.
usually the youngest in the studio.
Right, I'm usually the youngest out of the quad, but it's definitely a pleasure being here. And with that, before we go a little bit into Flint and what's been taking place there, give someone who's listening right now who may have or may be in that place where you were, trying to figure it out. Maybe it is fashion, maybe it is being a police officer, or maybe it's being a doctor. Give them some advice for your fellow brothers and sisters just to keep going and overcome those obstacles.
Believe in yourself, always, believe in yourself. Take it one day at a time, I can say. Tomorrow worries will be there tomorrow. Just always
Exactly.
embrace your right now moments
Yes,
and
that's important.
reflect on where you are now. That's what I can just give to them, and believe in yourself. Know that you are somebody. You will make it. God did not birth failures. You will win.
Exactly. And we always tell each other, you are light.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
remind
You
each other
are.
that.
Mhm.
Every morning, say I am affirmations.
Yes.
That's what keeps me going. I am success. I am fashion.
Of
I
course.
am a believer. I am an overcomer every day.
Mm. I have as far as your police
Mhm.
interest. No, I'm just
Yeah, it
curious.
shocked me too.
yeah. I want to know what was the origin of just your interest in being officer of the law.
That I would look good. in a
Oh.
police.
I know that's right. Give me
That's funny. That Lil Wayne song
You
inspired
know,
you.
Mrs. Officer, yeah. Put my own little twist on it. Yeah.
Oh, you was gonna switch up the whole uniform and everything.
She was gonna have a shirt tied up in the front.
Yeah.
Oh,
Swinging
no.
the Billy Club.
Fashion police.
A little
Yeah.
fur on the
Fashion
shoulders. Yes.
The fashion police.
That'll be cute for Halloween.
Yes.
Fashion police.
Fashion
Yeah.
police. I love it. Great idea, Chris.
Good job.
But just helping people, just
Oh, wow, yeah.
that's, and it kind of ties in with fashion, helping
Right.
people. I feel
Exactly.
like that was my calling, to help people. Help people that are in need in every aspect,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Awesome.
in danger, in fashion, in life, and all of it.
and that ties into your I Am series that you are wanting to do for the homeless. Taking that, going back to Flint with that.
Mm.
Matter of fact, I like that. I like that. I
Collaboration.
didn't.
Yes.
Right. And wow, I
Right.
like that. But yes, that's something that absolutely, I will will want to do, one day. But right now, I want to get where I am right now, with the
Yeah.
homeless people, and soon I can say Flint homeless shelters, I'm coming for you,
Yeah, we'll be there.
I'm coming, just give me time and I will be there. Like because our homeless need the help, need our help,
course.
needs everybody help. We have to uplift each other, don't kick each other while we are down,
Right.
And with that series, it will be covered over just homeless people that, they attend the 90 days in a homeless shelter, that they're actually trying to do better with themselves, you know. Like I stated before, you know, I'm the type of person to where no matter if I had a long day, no matter what stress come upon, once I get dressed and look myself in the mirror, oh, I feel like I can take over the world. I can conquer anything. And that's what I want a person that's going through tough times to feel like, you know. So this is what this makeover is about, that you have been doing good. You have picked yourself up, you know, and I'm going to pick you up even higher by giving you a complete makeover and let you know that you are somebody. You will win.
You will.
And
this is the season of winning.
It is, honey.
Absolutely.
Emoji hands up.
Certain businesses that you have partnered with for that initiative?
The Arlington Life Shelter, and I'm actually at the Twin City Missions in Bryan, Texas. So
near College Station, right?
Correct.
Awesome.
Shout out.
So shout out.
Now, another thing that I wanted to touch on as far as looking forward, because you've been doing this for about a year.
Correct.
And do you have any desire to work with young girls, or any advice for young girls that are interested in getting into fashion or styling?
All I can say is don't be afraid to reach out. You know, a lot of people are afraid because they expect that the person might not want to work with them. Right. But getting turned down is okay.
That's, you know,
it's okay. Like
great
it's
advice.
Okay. You reached out, you did your part.
Right.
If somebody don't want to work with you, take it as a blessing. Allow it to, you know, phase off as with love, peace, and it wasn't your season, you know, but never be afraid. Always go above and beyond, you know. If it's meant for you, it will be, you know. And if fashion, always be creative, you know. And that's it.
I think a lot of times people automatically assume that certain people at a certain level aren't interested in collaborating, and that's so not true. So
Right. That's not, and even if that was the case, that it's okay if they don't want to collab with you. Like,
because even those elevate you.
Yeah, right. Don't ever beat yourself about it. Continue to believe in yourself, because with that belief in yourself, you're going to reach where you want to go. You're going to reach your destination, and that person is going to look back and be like, dang, man, I should have worked with her, but hey, your loss, baby. I reached out, your loss.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So I want to get into a little bit about just overall, what are your goals within the next couple months? I know we've spoken briefly about, you know, planning events, going back home outside of the series, outside of the documentary. Where are you with, you know, taking your love for fashion to your city?
I want to do a fashion show in Flint. I want to have a Flint Fashion Week. I do want to do that. That is
That's
on my
huge.
list.
Awesome.
I also want to partner with my friend. She just opened up her boutique. It's called Coco Boutique.
Okay.
So
Shout
out to Coco
Right.
Boutique. That
Coco.
sounds cute, girl. She got an Instagram page.
I was about to say, put it out
Boutique.
there.
Coco
Yes.
Boutique.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, you know, just partner with her, and just, it's the season of winning.
Yeah.
I can't express it
express it
enough.
enough.
Like, you know,
We might change the title of the show to the season of
Winning.
winning.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that.
Yes.
Send it. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I wanted to ask you about being a stylist, being in fashion. I think that for myself, when I think about that, I think clothes only. So do you, with fashion, does that go beyond just the clothing for an individual for you?
Of course.
Okay.
Fashion is everything, and to me, fashion has no rules.
Right.
You know, so it's more. It's about, when I think about fashion, I think of what people went through in life. I went through where they are right now in life. I think about, you know, women who have children.
Right.
Like, it's just, it's so much more to fashion, behind what someone wears, behind what someone, a pair of shoes, you know, like, it's just so much more. And I feel like that's the beautiful thing in fashion. You know, it's just, it's no rules. It's never just plain Jane. It's always life. It's always light. It's just amazing to me, from fabric, from a button that's on a shirt.
Right.
You know, it's just, it's
Now,
amazing.
What's your favorite part of the process? I went to school for fashion design, so I think for me, just sketching out new designs, coming up with new ideas was something that I was always excited to do. So what's your favorite part of the styling process?
taking away and adding on. Like,
Yeah.
I'll break a whole outfit down, like, and add something so crazy. Like, I'll take silk and put some polka dots on it, or add hot pink and just mix it up. I like to just play with it. From shoes, and a lot of people, I start with my shoes first, and a lot of people don't start like that.
Yeah.
I start
Yeah.
with my
Shoes and
shoes.
Yeah, shoes and socks.
Yeah,
Because you have to.
So you go up, down.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because the
I
shoes
start-
are everything. The shoes make the outfit.
Everything, like
Every
shoes
time
make-
you base your
And the
own.
socks.
majority of
I
the
can
time.
tell you she does.
Yeah, that's a different
Yes,
perspective. Yeah, I never looked
I
at it
love a
like
good
that.
She
shoe.
does.
That's different.
I love a good
Shoes
shoe.
up.
So how do you deal with a difficult client like Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I just be patient and just try to just come up with a game plan and put their ideas, my ideas, and just it always work out in the end. You know, just I just, like I said, just try to stay patient with it and see it through. Try to see the finish line with everything. You know.
Now, as far as you say you break things down, do you really study like the history of fashion?
Oh, of course, yes.
Like the
everything.
old vintage 1920s
yes,
looks?
yes, and I love a good thrift store.
Yes, yes, we are thrifting
Thumbs up
buddies.
on
We
that.
thrift through the phone.
Yes, girl.
You know, for
Girl, you see this?
Right.
$2.
$2, yes.
vintage looks are some of my favorite looks
Yeah,
because
those are mine.
20s and 30s was when it was all about fabric.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you had
Yes.
pleated skirts, long sleeve
Mhm.
shirts. You have ruffles. You have that era gave us so
Right.
much more of the small details of fashion. That
And my favorite movie is The Dressmaker. So
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Yes.
sense. That makes sense. Like, and even with me, with the fashion, I drew a lot from my grandmother. Not necessarily being in one particular part. I really, what I have on for the day, I just go with my vibe. I go with the energy. I go
Right.
with how the
Yes,
the
ma'am.
weather is. And
Yes.
I got, it's bad. I'm weird. I dress total opposite of the weather sometimes. I don't know why, but it's just like, hey, whatever I'm feeling at that moment, that's what it is. You either gonna take it or leave it. A lot of people, one of the members of the gospel group that I manage, you always coming with something different, and that's how I feel about you. You give me a different vibe every time. You know, I see her every time she posts something on Facebook. I'm like, girl, she better do that.
Yes, I'm like you, girl. I get up and whatever the energy is around a room, around my closet, I get up, turn my music on. I'm just jamming. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm throwing
Yeah.
stuff out the closet. Should I wear this? Should I wear this? But I'm a neat freak.
Right.
So when I calm down and look at what I done did, I said, oh my God, I gotta clean this room up. Like it just be
Too much.
But that outfit be fire,
Oh
though.
yes,
Right.
yes, like be
Fire.
rowdy,
Nice.
yes.
Five.
Yeah. So you're not the type of person that has like, okay, I'm gonna wear this Monday, I'm gonna wear that Tuesday. You
Oh
already got it lined up.
no,
You just
no,
freestyle
no.
everything.
Because that's
Right.
gonna change.
Yes, that's gonna change. I have been laid them clothes
I
out
can't
and
do
Right.
wouldn't
that.
wear
I
none
can't
of
do
it.
that, man.
Been
I
no
try
more
that. Don't
backwards.
work. It don't work.
Right, backwards
Backwards.
completely. Yes. And I do wear a lot of stuff backward. Hats, everything, shirts, turning around,
Oh, okay.
everything.
That's-
People
Crisscross,
don't
for
even
real.
know.
now
Very good.
switching gears, and Flint has been all over. Well,
Mhm.
I would say over the news and then not so much.
Right,
depending
not
on
enough.
which news outlet you are looking at.
Mhm.
But I have Facebook friends that post like every so often, like this is
The
day
update.
whatever, and Flint still doesn't have clean water.
Correct. It's very painful. It's very hurtful to see
Yeah.
what they have to endure, you know.
Mhm.
All I can say is everyone that's listening, pray for Flint. Keep Flint in your prayers, because I look at babies'
Right.
skin is
Important.
bad,
Yeah,
hair
it's bad.
falling out. It's just old people. Like it's just heartbreaking. To even think about it. And for them to stop the water supply.
Right.
It's just.
And to talk about, we have a Flint, Michigan kind of situation here, not in Dallas County, but in Sand Branch. That's kind of like 20 minutes south from here. And that every time I'm still looking at the article, reading and going back and forth. And I really do hope they get that situation handled.
Yes.
We are going to keep that, you guys updated. If there's any information that you receive on where, donation can still be given, or if anyone is even accepting donations still, because that died, it was there for a moment and then it just died down very quickly. And I was surprised as to how fast they just overlooked the situation and it's still not taken care of. So we definitely going to keep Flint in our prayers.
And even with the, I feel like it's hurtful that even with them knowing that the water is bad, that they still have to pay a water bill. Like, that's just not fair. That's not fair. It's just, it's crazy. But I have faith that God is going to turn it around for my city. Like, Fly City, what's up?
Yeah, I love it. This has been The Choir with the lovely Idaysia Jackson.
Yes.
One more time before we wrap it up and get out of here. Give us your platforms, your social media platforms again.
You can follow me on Facebook at Idaysia Jackson. That's IDAYSIAJACKSON. You can follow me on Instagram at IDAYSIAM. And you can also follow me on Snapchat at IDAYSIA16.
Well, there you have it. I'm your girl, Ashley Nicole.
I'm absolutely Adia.
I am the franchise.
And this is Petrie.
And we are The Choir. Peace.